FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
The welfare state is coming to a crisis. It has built into it the seeds of its own destruction, not just in the United States, but throughout the world. These were recognized in 1944 by Gunnar Myrdal, who gave a series of lectures at Harvard on the welfare state. Mm-hmm. And one of the themes of these lectures was that if you have social insurance, what we call Social Security, you have changed the incentives that govern the conduct of family life. If you were to ask somebody, what did we do before Social Security? And the answer is, we had children. And they looked after us when we grew older. And he predicted in 1944 that everywhere where there was a social insurance arrangement, starting with Bismarck's Germany and moving throughout Europe and the United States by that time, wherever there was Social Security, one of the props that supported families having sizable families was gone. Right. And over time, mores and habits would adjust. It wouldn't happen overnight. You change the incentives and people continue to behave the way they behaved before out of habit. But gradually the habits give way. So the consequence is everywhere in the world now where there is a social insurance regimen, the population rate has fallen. The United States has the highest rate of any advanced industrial country. That is to say, we're at replacement rate. We have 2.1 children.
Thanks largely to the most recent immigrants.
That's right, yes. Right. I mean, it's complicated in that way. But if you go to Russia, they're losing 1 million people a year. That is to say, 1 million more people are dying each year than are being born.
Right.
Same thing is true in Japan. China is approaching that. Western Europe it's already baked in the cake. That is to say, the babies haven't been born. And when you get the bulge of my generation, of the baby boom generation, beginning to die off, the population is going to drop precipitously.
You said
that's happened.
You said there was some cheering news here, Paul.
Well, there is cheering news. Right. I'll get to it.
All right.
The second half of it is modern medicine since the 1960s has advanced in remarkable ways, and we're living longer in the United States, in Europe, and in other places as well. There is an imbalance developing between the number of people receiving social insurance and the number of people paying in. So right. Next year in the United States, less money will come into Social Security than will go out.
Right.
What that means is the old system cannot go on. We can't do this anymore. This is true of Medicare already. Medicare does not pay for itself. A good chunk of the money comes out of ordinary federal income, and it's going to get more intense as time goes on. So leave aside what Barack Obama is trying to do. If he did nothing, the whole thing would come apart over the next 10, 15 years.
I grant you every word of that, but it does not follow that it will be replaced by a reassertion of the old liberties.
Well, that's where Barack Obama has helped us out. He has come in and he has proposed a grand takeover of a very large part of the American economy. Preceding that, they passed a stimulus bill that is a looting bill. That takes money from the future and pays it into the hands of constituencies of the political party.
An $800 billion fraud on the American people.
That's right. And it was done secretly, behind closed doors, but openly secretly. That is to say, the American people could see that it was going on behind closed doors.
Right.
And there has been an enormous eruption, the Tea Party movement. I cannot think of anything on this scale that has happened in the United States since the eruption against the Tariff of Abominations in 1828. When Tocqueville came to the United States, he was struck by the capacity of the American people outside of the political parties to organize politically about particular issues and to force the congressman to back off. So I think what's going on is the old spirit of jealousy, the old spirit of vigilance, the old spirit of caution and doubts about government encroachment have been enlivened by the Obama administration, by Nancy Pelosi, and by Harry Reid. They are a gift to the friends of liberty.